and welcome to all. Now students, in continuation with our last lecture, now in our today's lecture, we are going to see the properties of matter and their measurements. Properties of matter and their measurements. Now in this lecture, students, we are going to learn the properties of matter and how they are measured in our day-to-day life. That part we are going to study in this our today's lecture. Different kinds of matter have characteristic properties, which can be classified into two categories. In which first one is physical properties and second one is chemical properties. First one is physical properties and the second category is chemical properties. Now students, these are the two methods by which we can measure whether either they are by knowing their physical properties or by measuring their chemical properties. These are the different kinds of matters have their characteristic properties. Now physical properties are those which can be measured or observed without changing the chemical composition of the substance. For example, if we take an example for a chemical, certain chemical which is present in solid state, for that chemical we are going to measure its melting point, and suppose that chemical is in liquid state, then we are measuring its boiling point. Means they, without any changing in their original properties, we are measuring the properties. That properties we are calling it as a physical properties. Now students, in chemical properties, the case will be different. In chemical properties, these properties are the properties where the substance undergoes a chemical change and thereby exhibit change in chemical composition. Now, if we took an example for it, coal burns in air to produce in the presence of oxygen. Suppose if we burn a coal, then oxygen also must play an important role in the burning of that coal. Coal is nothing but one of the purest form of carbon. All of you we are already knows that. Coal burns in air to produce carbon dioxide, or magnesium wire burns in air in the presence of oxygen to form magnesium oxide. All of you know that these chemical properties, in which suppose we are taking carbon. Carbon when it burns in the air, it forms carbon dioxide. Means chemical properties, if you want to determine for the carbon, so for that purpose what we did, carbon in the form of coal we burned in the presence of oxygen air, then it will form carbon dioxide. Means the composition of that substance gets changed in chemical properties. But if we look at physical properties, we have taken examples for the physical properties. For example, if you want to determine the color of NaCl, what is the color of NaCl? It will be white. So we can easily identify the physical properties by only observing it or by their appearance. For example, another property, if we take here melting point or boiling point. In both these cases, we can measure very easily that property. Means without any changing its composition, we can measure the physical properties. But for the chemical properties, it will not be like that. Suppose if we take another example, a magnesium wire, when we burn in air, it will form MgO, magnesium oxide. So this is the chemical property. By changing its composition, we can measure the chemical property. Now students, for the measurement of properties, we should take the help of some quantities. And that quantities now we are going to see. Here, many properties of matter are quantitative in nature. When you measure something, you are comparing it with some standards. Means what does it mean? For example, if you want to buy 1 kg of sugar or 1 liter of milk, then you are taking the help of some standards. For example, for 1 kg of sugar, you will require 1 kg of standard weight. Then and then only by comparing that sugar with the standards, then and then only you can say that I have got 1 kg of sugar. Means for this measurement, it should have some standard quantities or standard units. So students, for this measurements, all the standards should be required for the measurement of matter. Suppose if you want to buy 1 liter of milk, what you are going to do? You have to take the standard volume by which you can take that milk 1 liter, and then only you can say that I have got 1 liter milk. So this is the standard quantities we should require for the measurement of matter. Now students, that measurement of properties we are going to see. Many properties of matter such as mass, length, area, pressure, volume, time, etc. are quantitative in nature. Quantitative in the sense, measurement is expressed by a number followed by units in which they are measured. Now students, for example, if we want to take the length of our classroom, then what you are going to be measured? Length. By measuring the length, you can say that our classroom has this much meter length, in length. Here, suppose if we take our classroom has 10 meter in length, 10 meter, then we can say that here 10 is the number and m denotes meter. 10 is the number and this m indicates what? Its unit, that is meter. So this is nothing but, we can say that the unit in which the length is measured is nothing but meter. So we should know all about the units. As I have said that m is nothing but the unit of length. So like that, there are different units are there in nature. For example, mass, length, area, pressure. Mass, length, area,